Hello everyone, let's look at the new features and changes that Microsoft is rolling out as part of the July 2026 security update for Windows 11. These improvements apply to version 25H2 and 24H2, and this update is expected to become available on July 14, 2026, usually at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to install and get this update immediately, you can do this. But eventually, you will get it automatically. First, let's go to the Settings app. Then on Windows Update, make sure to have this option turned on and then just click the Check for Updates button. Then the update is going to download and then you just need to restart the computer. Now, if you don't see all the new features after installing the update, make sure to check the link in the description that I have another video that shows the process I did to force enable the new improvements for July 2026. First, in this release, Microsoft rolls out Point-in-Time Restore, a new recovery feature that introduces a faster way to restore a system to a previous working state without spending a lot of time troubleshooting. The feature is turned on by default on Windows 11 Pro and Home Edition, but you can always check in the recovery settings. And for that, we need to go to the Settings app, and then on System, Recovery, we're going to find a new entry called Point-in-Time Restore. And from here, you can view or edit the feature. The feature basically captures automatic snapshots that includes apps, settings, and personal files, allowing you to roll back to a non-good configuration when a problem appears. The goal is to reduce the recovery friction and minimize the downtime during system instability and configuration issues. Basically, this is a modern version of System Restore, which uses restore points to recover the system to a non-good state. So from here, you can turn the feature on and off. You should be able to also change the frequency and the restore point retention, but for some reason in my setup, the settings are grayed out. From here, you can specify the storage usage for the feature, and you can also see the history of the restore points. Now, perhaps the biggest feature for the July update is the change that Microsoft is making to the Windows Update system. In this release, Windows Update is gaining more flexible scheduling model centered around a calendar-based pause system. So instead of relying on fixed intervals, you can now choose a specific end date when pausing updates, extending control up to 35 days. However, now there are no limits on the times that you can pause updates. So this is the closest that we're going to get to disabling Windows Update on the operating system. So the way that you continue pausing update, it's by pausing updates once, and then as it gets closer to the end of the schedule, you have to open the Windows Update settings again, and then keep postponing the updates as long as you need. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you forget to extend the pause, the computer will immediately check for updates after the schedule ends. Now, I'm curious to know what you think about the new pause option and whether you will want a option to disable updates completely in the operating system. Now let's talk about widgets, because experience is shifting toward a quieter and less intrusive design, with changes aimed to reducing interruptions and simplifying default behavior. Widgets no longer expand automatically on hover if you have the button on the taskbar, and both notifications and taskbar badges are minimized by default with accent matching color for a subtle visual presence. On first use, the dashboard now opens the widgets section instead of the news feed, while the lock screen access default to a single weather widget for clarity. Settings are now easier to adjust directly from the navigation bar, allowing users to customize the behavior without having to navigate deep into the system menus. Notifications counters remain visible but clear automatically when viewing the dashboard, keeping the interface clean. Under the hood, the experience also benefits from improvements in reliability and responsiveness, along with redefined visuals, consistency across the dashboard. Now, if we go to the accessibility section on the Settings app, we're also going to find a new entry called Screen Tint, and this is a new feature in the operating system that applies a full display color overlay designed to reduce eye strain with adjustable intensity and preset configurations available directly within the page. So from here, you can enable and disable the feature. You can choose from presets, and there is also a custom option. And with the slider, you can control the strength. Now, this feature might seem similar to the nightlight feature, and actually there are two different features and you can use them both at the same time. However, screen tint doesn't work alongside color filters. The Windows Magnifier also receives an update that adds new granular controls for the zoom that you use with the feature. So instead of having to press to decrease or increase the zoom, you can now set the specific percentage right into the interface. Now, you can also go to the settings, and from here, the zoom increment has been updated with new increments that allows you to zoom up to 400%. Now, if we go to the printers and scanners section in the settings app, we're going to notice a new default installed printers using Windows Ready Print, and this option will be turned on by default. So basically, there is a new support for installing printers on Windows 11 that uses the Internet Printing Protocol, which streamlines the setup and improves reliability. However, if you prefer to install printers in the legacy way, you may want to turn this off. Now, if we go to the privacy settings, more specifically to the location page, the company is making it easier to understand when location services are turned off. This also means that when you turn off location, the default location and the allow location override settings will be grayed out by default. In this release, Microsoft is also making available an updated version of File Explorer. And in this release, if you open the homepage, users logged in with a work or a school account will now be able to hover over files and be able to access the open file location and the Ask Copilot buttons. Microsoft is also improving the speed and performance of launching File Explorer. Microsoft also says that the address bar in File Explorer now supports paths containing double backslashes and quotation marks. However, in my particular installation, I don't seem to have that change. Microsoft also notes that search suggestions in the address bar are also now more reliable and close properly after you select an option. In addition, the company fixed an issue that could cause OneDrive files to appear twice in the favorite section and resolve an issue where OneDrive shortcut stopped working when File Explorer was running as an administrator. Also, renaming files is now more reliable, and File Explorer no longer repeatedly reselects text while renaming items. And changes that only modified letter casing are now reflected immediately for both local and cloud store files. As part of the July 2026 update, Bluetooth reliability and performance see a broad set of refinements, mainly on audio stability, device compatibility, and connection behavior. Windows 11 now keeps the microphone muted state in sync between the audio mixer and the hands-free profile, improving consistency for supported Bluetooth headphones and physical mute buttons or indicators. Device compatibility is also improved with faster pairing detection for devices like AirPods and more reliable microphone performance on headphones such as the Beats Studio Pro. Audio reliability benefits from fixes that targets driver-related issues, while voice call quality is enhanced on classic Bluetooth devices that use HFP. Bluetooth LE audio handling becomes more resilient with improved streaming recovery after disconnection and faster audio start times when the microphone is active. Classic Bluetooth devices will also reconnect more quickly after system hibernation, improving the overall responsiveness. Device management is also more reliable as well, reducing remove fail errors when hardware state change during unpairing. Bluetooth and device settings page also become more stable during everyday use. And finally, connection behavior is further refined to improve recovery when multiple devices are active, such as when phone reconnects and temporarily interrupts LE audio accessories. Now, if you use the phone link experience in this update, call handling between a paired phone and a computer using Bluetooth becomes more consistent and more predictable, particularly in routing audio during early stages of the call. Ongoing calls now remains on the phone during the ringing phase, switching seamlessly to the device only once the call is answered on Windows 11. Incoming call behavior is also refined when Do Not Disturb is enabled, preventing unwanted audio interruptions on the PC when calls are being managed on a connected phone. Voice access and voice typing now support more languages including French, German, and Spanish, expanding dictation options across more regions. Also, as you speak, the system refines text in real time by correcting grammar, punctuation, and recognition errors. It also adapts better to background noises, improving clarity and reducing the need for manual edits. This feature is available on Copilot Plus PCs. Now, under the hood, Microsoft is also updating the network system with new improvements across both virtualized and standard environments. Confidential virtual machine now defaults to SR-IOV hardware acceleration for better performance and throughout. An Hyper-V networking issue has been resolved to improve the reliability of virtual machines machine provisioning. In addition, system-level updates reduce Wi-Fi bug checks, improve cellular connectivity, including IPv6 VPN support, and enhance compatibility with third-party VPN tools. Now, if you have a device with a touchpad, starting with this release, the touchpad settings gain more control, so you can now define how much of the corner responds to a single finger right-click action on supported devices. Now, as part of the Windows shell improvements in this release, the company is making reliability improvements, especially around Explore.exe. Also, this update fixes a login and lock screen issue involving third-party credential providers, reduces blank taskbar icons, and improves File Explorer home stability during OneDrive sync. Even further, virtual desktop switching becomes more consistent, app launching improves when shell extensions are installed, and visual issues with a credit blur effect across Start, Settings, and the lock screen has been resolved. And that's it. Those were pretty much the biggest changes that you're going to see on the July 2026 security update for Windows 11. In addition, the company plans to roll out other fixes and improvements as you can see in this list. Regarding audio, taskbar, WSL, authentication, start menu, taskbar, and the company has also fixed the recycle bin issue that was causing the delete confirmation dialog to display internal file names instead of the original file name when deleting a file. And that's it. That is everything you need to know about the latest Patch Tuesday update coming in July for Windows 11. Let me know in the comments what you think about these changes. Like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And I just hope this video was informative for you, and I would like to thank you for viewing.